So first, I'm glad to be here. Uh, I will try to be brief and quickly. I'm not going to be in very detailed about the botnet, but which one? Okay. Okay. Well, I will try to be quickly. So I work as a research assistant in a security lab in Canada, and I will be talking about mobile devices. So first question, who in the room doesn't use a mobile device, a phone device? Is there anyone? Well, I know one person don't use phones, mobile phones. But I think a lot of people right now, we are using mobile devices. And the next question is, who is not using Android devices? I hope a lot of people. Okay. So this talk is about Android devices. It's not because they are more nicest or beautiful or anything, but they are more open. There are a lot of people using Android devices, but most interesting, there are a lot of malware for Android devices. As we see during the day, a lot of companies, they say the increase of the number of device malware for Android, it's high. And we have reports that there are a lot of malicious samples out there. It doesn't mean that there are a lot of them on the wild, but we can show some of them on the wild. And I will briefly talk about the market, or the ecosystem, sorry. So you have an Android device. Basically, it means that you have an open source operating system. It's mainly deployed and controlled by Google, but you have another companies doing something for Android. And what happens if you want an app or an application for your phone? If you have the skills, you can develop your own app, but you can just maybe make 1, 2, or 3 or more, but you want something else. So usually you go to the market. There is an official market. It's supposed it's clean. But there are other markets outside, not officials, semi-officials, depending on the brands. And usually the developers, here? Okay, the developers create the apps and they send the apps to the market. Some markets, they have good security measures, so they are almost clean. But usually the developers, in order to monetize their effort, they use ad networks, so they can get some money. They want to eat and they want to live, so they want some money for the free apps, and the user get the apps at the end. But not only the developers or the users are in this ecosystem, so the bad guys, they are all there. Sometimes they go to the market, get a very nice app, popular one, repackage the app, and they offer in third market, or even sometimes they got the paid apps or premium apps, crack the apps, and they offer for free. Sometimes they are good, but the majority of the times they have hidden components or malware, so they have this. Other times they create the apps from scratch, and sometimes it's very, very easy to spot them, or it's very easy to lure the users to download these apps. They offer like, hey, this is the great SMS app or program, so you can send tons of SMS for free, for example. Or one of the first ones, and very common, very popular, if you want to see porn, just download this app. It's a free porn player, but they were using something bad behind the scenes. Okay. No, they are a little different. Okay, I found this malware in the store, so I like the picture. Basically, malware malicious code. Maybe all of us here, we know about the malware. And the botnets. Usually, some malware, not all the malware, but some malware, they have bot capabilities. for me at this point mainly means that they can call home, so they can report something, and they can obey orders or follow orders. If they just are doing bad stuff, like the example I just mentioned, you download the app, and the app sends premium messages, but they don't communicate to a control and command server or anything else. So it's just, for me, it's just malware, it's not a bot. But if these can talk home, so they are bot, and the botnet is a bunch of devices or computers connected, in this case, devices. Now, let's say the good part right now about Android malware, Android botnets, is like there is no very easy way. Well, it's easy, but it's not as easy as in PCs to infect the device. The first one, you need physical access to the device. So if you steal someone else's device, you can put malware in there. There are some apps that they are like malware, like botnets. That means, for example, if you want to track your wife, your husband, you install this app and you can follow all the movements. Some antivirus call this malware. It's supposed it's for a good purpose, so you want to track something, but okay. The other way is to luring the user to install an app. And as I say, they offer like, this is the great app, or this is a free, just one-time offer for the app. Sometimes they send an SMS in automatic way, or sometimes very specific to the user. Oh, this is a great app. Please download and install it. Sometimes it's like, it looks like an update component. You are, I don't know, for example, watching a football game on your phone, and suddenly a pop-up about updating Flash player comes in, and you want to continue watching the game, so you install the update, but it's malware. Until now, there are some efforts to do drive-by download on Android, but it's not very common, so let's say it's not very common to have complete drive-by downloads. And other ways to infect the phone is to inject in the ads networks, or if you detect in the traffic that someone is updating or downloading an app, you can do a man-in-the-middle attack and send the malicious app, but you need to be in the same network, so it's more like a focus attack. Okay, as Felix mentioned, what are they looking? They are looking for information about you. So it's your mobile phone. You have your phone almost all the time with you. You have contact list. You have your calendar. You have sometimes your credit card, what kind of places you frequent. So you have a lot of information about you. The other thing is someone wants to spy on you. So they want all your geolocation, so they can follow you, they can track you. They want to record the calls. They want to get all the SMS that you got. Usually these two links to the money. So as we saw previously, right now, like the money is the first thing that move bad actors to get this. So they can do banking on the mobile phone. Some of the newest samples, they do in a very clever way. So they intercept the banking app, they steal the information from there, and they steal the SMS as well. Another example, they want zombies on your phones because they are almost online, and they can be using, for example, as a proxy. So they can proxy to your corporate network through the phone. Or there is another malware sample that they use the Android bots to create DDoS attacks. Okay, at the half. I will be very fast on the past, so this is almost the main features they can do. These features still are in the wild right now. For example, for repackaged apps, in 2011, these were one of the families that they can do this. Gemini, PG Apes, and Android Kung Fu. Basically, they can open URLs on your phone without your consent. They can install new apps or delete apps from your phone. And some of them are repackaged apps. So you go on the market, you find a nice app. It looks like another one, but it's malicious. The interesting part is this is not hard-coded on the malware, on the bot, so they are waiting for commands to do these things. Sending spam, this sample, SMS Spacem, it's from 2011 as well. This was one of the first botnets on the wild that they use HTTP control, but they use SMS control as well. So for some reason, the phones are not answering the request or they are not connecting back to the server. They send an SMS message to update the data from the control and command server, and they can go. Another thing is they have all the contact information, and they can start sending SMS to all your contacts or the spam. Two examples about financial gain. Mainly these malwares, they send SMS to premium messages, so they charge the users. But again, it's not like just hard code and just one time or just three times as the fake form player. They wait for commands and they send messages. Sometimes they can do phone calls, even to premium numbers to get money, or just to report or to send some data over the call maybe. And there is here a big example with Android. So this malware for Android, it's not open source, but you can find the source code online. So it was leaked. So there are a lot of variants on this, and they can record audio. They can take pictures. I don't remember exactly if they can do record video, but probably yes. Where else? Okay. Oh, this is from 2013. And some of them, they can be kind of annoying, showing ads on your phone, or displaying the ads as notifications. This is very interesting. Bad news. It was found in the official Google market, so they overcome the security mechanism and go there. This is from 2013. Now, what's going on more or less last year, this year, about Android malware? They are moving, or they just start doing serious money about this. They start with banking, for example. We have FakePlay and Groba. There were a lot of news about this, and for example, Droba was reaching or attacking exactly Korean users, and they have a lot of Korean banks and applications, so they were targeting specific users from Korea. They steal the credentials for the banking, and sometimes some banks send an SMS to confirm that you are doing the transaction, and they steal the SMS as well. Ransomware, they mentioned before. As in the PCs, they start just locking the device. So they ask, you pay money or we don't unlock your device. But then they evolve and they actually encrypt all the data on the device. One of the samples, Simple Locker, this sample was made from scratch, so it's not a repackaged app or anything. It's like a very simple one, but it was very effective. They took open source libraries for encryption. They took the Tor library for Android to include that. And actually, in the first sample, they hard code the password or the key. So they encrypt all your information. And it's supposed you need to pay. And in order to try to be quiet and don't take off very easy, they were using Tor, so it was not very easy to interfere the communication. But they just need one command to unlock the device. Now we have focus attacks specifically. For example, the name Chuli. Chuli was spread over mail for right human activists. They say, oh, this is the schedule for the conference. Please install this app. They installed the app and they got infected. And they were tracking, so they know the geolocation of these guys. They know the phone calls. They know the contact list, so they know everything about these guys. And the other one, XSSR. This malware was spread by WhatsApp message to the Occupy Hong Kong guys, so they were tracking again, and they get all the information from them. So the speculation says these are main players like government or something like that attacking the users. Now, at the beginning, or when they start, the malwares are very simple. They are kind of plain text, so it was very easy to reverse. Some obfuscation on the name, some reflection from Java, so it was kind of easy. But now you can look for this specific paper from Virus Bulletin. They did a great job looking at different samples and finding personal unique encryptions. So some guys are getting smarter and they are putting more effort in the malwares. So they are using, for example, base64, but they change the dictionary. So if you use the basic base64, you won't get anything. They are using ROT10, ROT13 in different samples. So it's not that easy anymore. So you need to do more to reverse engineering the samples. There were a huge talk about this. Some guys, they say, we found this device, Xiaomi Mi 4, infected by default, and they say it's an old version of Android, so it's vulnerable. They have tons of malicious apps installed, and then they discovered that it was a fake device, a copy of the device. So it was a back and forth discussion between them, because they say, no, this device is not also, you need to check that. And the other guy says, well, we used your app to check if the device was legitimate or not, and it says yes. So, but at the end, it was not legitimate. But so you can find phones with malware on the market. And as Felix mentioned earlier, Dendroid, it was like a tool to create your own botnet. So they have the packers. You just need a legitimate or original APK for distributing this. So they unpack the APK, that add the malicious code, repack the APK, and they offer the code for the command and control server at the same time. So it was like, do your botnet yourself. It was $300, so it's not very expensive, and we have some samples about here. Felix, this is your photo. The last one. So for the future, we will see the same attacks over and over, but we have more ones, like more focus attacks. Now they are target attacks, so we will continue seeing target attacks on these. The guys are getting more into the Android, so they will create more obfuscate samples. Right now, there are some samples that they use native code, so it's a little bit harder to get the malicious components on the native code. As we saw in Windows world, so probably soon, hopefully not, but probably soon, we will see non-interactive attacks. So your Android will be compromised just for visiting a web page or for opening a link, something like that. The new version of they will be replacing the Dalvik virtual machine soon with Dart. With ART, it's the new way that the apps will be running. So they are right now some proof of concepts that they can abuse of ART. So we will see this more often. Right now there are some, but only a few examples about complex attacks. You need to download like 3 or 4 different APKs, or you need to have a specific environment in your phone so that so the malicious app will be behind in a malicious way. And another thing is I heard like Microsoft is trying to put some effort to stop Android malware because they have plans to support Android apps on their phones. So maybe soon we will have some Android malware on Windows phones as well. And as they mentioned, botnets in the Internet of Things. And some people say maybe Internet of Things soon will be running Android as well. So we will see more things like the Android watch, maybe glasses or something else. So we need to be aware of that as well. And I think it's everything.
Good.
I forget.